Yesterday we had Loud versus EDG, crazy game, especially with the outcome. Let's talk about what happened. So pistol round is a good example of just the general game plan. A good C fake a lot of the time, pressure over towards C, try and pull a rotate, they managed to pull 3 people over tier, and then just B hit. It was probably the most B hits I think I've ever seen. I'm trying to think of some other games, but it's at least in the top 3 I've seen in B hits. There's a lot. Definitely their game plan felt like they could walk in, and maybe they looked into Loud just over-rotating. And a lot of times we just saw them get the first kill and be able to hold over towards the site, have a lot of map control. So I liked it. The game plan was good. And yeah, the pistol was just a good example of this. This happened a lot as well, just fast A. And every single time, Loud were pretty much losing the trades. So I wanted to throw this one in. This A hold that they had with 3 people just wasn't enough, it felt like. It didn't feel like it was enough. On LAN, it's very hard to hear this TP out, so it actually gets a lot of value all the time. So yeah, we like that. Then back to B, of course, on another big buy round for Louds. They have to eco after losing this one and the A round before. This was just a little bit unlucky, to be honest with you. The fact that he got the kill and then Kalensin moves back and they actually just fell into the 3-on-3 and managed to win this after plan as well. I think we have a replay as well from the round that followed this. Another B hit, of course. They did manage to get the first kill, but actually in the end what happened is the trades over towards Waterfall were too good, and they just looked like a unit. The retakes, and I mean the retake of B is just hard anyway, but the retakes of B from Loud just didn't look great. Maybe honestly, if I'm being the most critical of them, they kind of needed to stack it and maybe flood a bit faster, or at least hold them from getting in towards the site. This is a 4v3 for Loud. The EDG nearly win as well. Like the afterplants and the retakes, they were very close. This is one round that they actually won, getting them on the board, but this was like the worst possible round that they could have won, if that makes sense in terms of their economy, right? So they won a round, but then obviously only one of them survived, so their money was really low. Then we had stuff like this from Can. I love this. Teams are starting to do this against a Viper, like kind of as soon as the ult gets done, you're trying to capitalize on the fact that you kind of know roughly where he is, and this was, I mean, a little bit slower, but just showing the actual confidence of Can to be able to do this. Also, this one was pretty impressive. So this is the same round after they get that kill. They actually just hold a default and they just wait for the reaction. Looked into Loud's tendencies in 4v5. They like to go searching. They're trying to make it back, trying to make it even into a 4-4. And they just hold a default, very patient after getting the first kill. They actually waited like 25 seconds for that reaction. So I thought it was good. Here's another A take at the beginning. We have another A take. What's going to go down? Who's going to win? Pretty much, it took Loud a long time. This one's, I don't want to be too critical on this because they had sheriffs and like they actually had a pretty good try at it. I feel like if they get that kill, it's a different round. Can also just dashing to get over towards the site as fast as possible. And then we finally had this, right? They had enough of losing over towards A, and they just realized, because honestly what EDG were doing was taking A control, then potentially going back into B, or if they get enough kills, then they'll just go over towards the site. Loud this time actually having 4 people here, so nice to see that actually change it up, and it did make the difference on this one. It was close, like there was loads of situations where it was just like, damn, they looked so close to just losing the extra kill. This whole round, there was just some crazy shots, just non-stop. It was just madness the whole game. Went actually down to a 1-on-1 that Les managed to win with another nice shot. But yeah, really close rounds. Nice to see the Loud actually kind of changing, realizing what's going on, and managing to change up how they're approaching it. Then we go into this one, and it's just an overwhelm. The teamwork once again is good. The spacing's really good. Smoggy plays it incredible. Can bails Smoggy out with the trades as well. They go back to B, and I'm telling you, there wasn't really many C hits, which was interesting because against Liquid, they actually had a good amount of C hits. So pretty impressive that they were changing up their style of play in terms of the demos that they'd shown before. So I like that. Then we go over towards this round. I want to highlight this, right? This is the FPX buy. So first of all, EDG go aggressive, they take down the turret. That means that we can now have a flank. Loud approach this similar to an FPX, but a little bit more riskier, right? They have three rifles, 2 pistols. And basically the whole plan is to make sure that they can only lose 2 people, and then they keep these rifles into the bonus round, and the extra 2 people that bought a pistol can buy a rifle. So the third round, you're in theory going to have 5 rifles. The problem is when they do stuff like this, FPX were really good at this, and it worked for them all the time because they were like super methodical. Nobody goes... I mean, he goes above and beyond. He does get the flank on. He does get the early kill. But it's the fact that the first kill is an isolated rifle on its own. That's the thing that's just... Yeah, just kind of snowballs out of control. And yeah, this is the risky thing with the 3 rifle buy, is that if you're not careful and people are isolated on their own, then yeah, stuff like that can happen. But definite shout out to nobody. Hitting those shots with a ghost is it was down to a lot of individual skill. But I also like the fact that they broke the turret so that they could enable the flank, and the pressure was just there. Then we go over towards this, and EDG try and do their own A shutdown. But the thing that they did was they had 4 at the beginning straight away. So just early on, not the 3 that Loud like to do, but they just shut them down with 4 at the beginning. Just really dominant over towards A on that round. And then Loud were, after getting shut down over towards A, Loud were a little bit lost. They didn't know what to do. They called a timeout, and a lot of the times they were just dogging over towards C, just insta C hit. We then saw... Then saw them try and go for another C hit, and Kang does this, and this kind of just decided the whole round. He gets the first kill, everyone goes aggro on top of it as well. They pinched over towards here once they'd spotted their numbers. Nice reaction from them. And I was just impressed that EDG adapted so fast with this round. They were just getting overwhelmed over towards C for like 2 rounds, and then Loud tried to do the same thing again, and they just adapted really fast. Definite shout out to nobody. I think this was the best... This was the best map I've seen him play. Insane impact, and what a time to do it. And honestly, this was very dominant. If this round was different, right, they didn't get eco'd and lose the rifles, and the money wasn't good, then maybe it was a different game. But honestly, what I saw from EDG was very dominant. Every time Loud won an important round, they would only just win it, and EDG would win the next round, and they just had no money for most of the defensive half of this. And yeah, I loved EDG's game plan over towards B. It was definitely a weak spot when we look at Loud's retakes and how they were approaching it, and they found the weakness and they exploited it. Then we go over towards Fracture, and I think this was probably Loud's map to win when I look at it back. I started off with a pistol. EDG pushed to the top side. Aspas actually saves his team here. He blocks the vision from them shooting him on the ropes, so he kind of takes one for the team there and saves them, but they do end up actually just winning this round. So I just wanted to just highlight how good his util was to actually save the rest of his team, because he didn't know the numbers, so he just wanted to block the vision with the wall so they couldn't see them. Then we go into this. It's the first buy round, really important round, and I like the speed from Loud, right? They just go fast over towards site, they're overwhelmed, and I think that's one of the easiest ways to play against an op. They know the op's going to come out, and they just wanted to make sure they can go fast. This then forced EDG into a eco, and we just saw madness basically ensue afterwards. Let me just quickly go back to this. So they're rushing over towards the site. EDG now on an eco the next round, and this with a stinger is outrageous. Like that with a stinger is outrageous. It felt like the last bullet, then the smoke fades over towards heaven. Howdong gets a kill, and it just all crumbles apart. And there's then having to go into crossfires with no smokes. And yeah, just really nicely played. Stinger MVP on this one, and just meant that the money was then pretty good for EDG. And then we go into this one. It turns into a 1v2. Loud having some good rounds, right? Individuals, less especially, was really good. I mean, he's been one of, if not their best player throughout the season, and he was kind of showing a good amount of that form. He played this really, really well. Obviously, nobody ticking down with the ult damage, and he just went outside, just no idea where he could have gone, just played it perfectly. Shorty with the Viper ult as well, just a classic. Then we go over towards this round here, and this is just a nice setup. This is a Fnatic setup. It's turret, contact. With the turret contact, you then do your insta breach stun, and then on top of that, you're doing a Brim ult. So nice to see that EDG are looking at Fnatic's setups and taking them, getting the first kill on this, which actually managed to get them the win. But yeah, I was just happy to see that they had some nice setups with their ults, even if I mean, taking it from other people's is absolutely fine. And just wanted to just highlight this, just how good he is. I loved his reposition to get the second kill on this. Shots were incredible. And just the individuals, again, just looking really good. I love this team. They're so fun to watch. They're just such a good mix of everything. They really are. This was a nice round. Good overwhelm coming in from Loud. I just wanted to show them just kind of going back to their original plan that was working really well in terms of just pace, and actually just managing to win this half 7-5. They win the half 7-5, then they win the pistol. Like, they're in control. It's 5-9. They go for this as well, which actually ended up being really close. This is their bonus round against the fast buy. This didn't look great, but then the second hit was actually pretty good. They call everyone over. They decide, why not? It's a bonus. Let's fight this. We got good utility with the KO and the breach. And they were unlucky to not actually win this round, in my opinion. The big shout out here is Nobody. You're about to see the kill that I think changed this round. Haodong eats the flash, and then Nobody comes in and just gets that flash, and once that was done, I was just like, and then obviously Tui's gets spots from Chi-Chu, and they just go after him with the dog. But I thought Nobody again with another impact kill, saving them into this round. This was a good round to kind of show how EDG were playing against the fact that Loud had no Sentinel. The information comes in over towards Dish. It's going to get swung on by 3 people. You've just seen the initial jump peek as well. And once they push them off the angle with the jump peek, if you just look at Kang just walking the whole time, knowing that he's not going to be facing into 3 people, like he's not going to face into them, and he just walks up over towards the site, again exploiting the fact they have no Sentinel, no information. And I thought his just heads up play here was just incredible. A teammate bailing out once again. Kang actually bailed Smoggy out in the map before, and then Smoggy bailed him out in this round. And yeah, I just thought it was nice to see them kind of exploiting and walking up and taking the risk against the non-Sentinel. Also, the heads-up play to just instant dash into the ult while it was still popped to block vision was really cool. This was another great round. Loud go for their push over towards Tree, and they're ready for this. They put one person in the position, and they're just going to be able to flash retake this, and they just have numbers. Perfect read from them into this round, perfect strat, and the overwhelm is just incredible. Just 3 instant kills on an important round. If you look over to the right, look at the money. Just what a round to do it. Really made the comeback happen, this one. Yeah, just a step ahead on that. I thought this was cool. I'm just going to throw this in. Just one nice little flash. Like, this was close to winning. If he didn't eat this team flash, if Haodong didn't eat that team flash, honestly, I think that could have been a different round. Just a cool little flash in the 2v4. Obviously, they don't see it coming. It goes over the top, so they can't really turn. I thought that was a nice round. Okay, this is my favorite round, so I want everyone to just look at the sky over towards Dish. Sky's going to use Seekers, and normally when you're using Seekers, it's to kind of gain space, and you're running with numbers. But they're using this as a bait, and I love this a lot. They have the breach ult on top of it, and just the most common thing at the moment with the breach ult is to go over towards A main. But yeah, I love the fact that they're just using the pressure of the Seekers to try and either make them react, and maybe they looked at their protocols in terms of their reactions. I think they did. The fact that they're going to go proactive over towards here, they end up all just eating the ult. They have really good util to stop this. Like, it's still very, very good. But then the swings are great. The numbers are really good. There's a dog that gets them information as well. And yeah, just the overwhelm. And even if you're just looking now, just at the damage was great. And Kang as well, of course, with the op, just doing what he does best. One of the best players with the attack op, for sure. He gets the most value out of it, out of every team I've seen. But they also use it the most, and it's just a big game plan that they can throw out. And it's kind of what makes them so scary. Just knowing that constantly they might be getting an op out. I talk about it a lot. And it's just hard to play against when you know that a team might bring an op out and you can't be facing angles or swinging. This is madness, by the way. Like, that is madness. The fact that he gets 3 here it's one of the most insane things I've seen at 11-10 as well. Les does his best to try and capitalize this. I'll actually let this go as I explain this as well. They also just played off the protocols, right? You saw the Dish push coming in, and the protocol to take A main was there. But yeah, just ridiculous clip Yeah, one of the best. Less ends up having to save because of the time here. And then we go into the last round. And yeah, just an example of what can happen with the attack op. The lineup comes in just when it goes from bad. I mean, it goes from bad to worse, basically, is what I'm trying to say for Loud on this one. Just eating the double, eating the collat 1v3. Sadak can't win it. And yeah, it was just really dominant. A lot of the... I was impressed with a lot of how much anti, to be honest, Edwards Gaming had been doing. Felt like they played against the No Sentinel comp really well. Felt like they looked into the rotate and the reactions of Loud really well. And on top of that, all of the individuals actually stepped up, and it wasn't just like a one-person carry. It was just like a whole team performance, and they just looked genuinely great, especially after this half and losing the pistol. The 9-5, they only won one round. Since then, yeah, I thought it was very impressive. I'm excited for these in the future, whether it's this tournament, whether it's Champions and beyond. I just think it's a young team. They're going to look really good. In terms of Loud, not too worried about them. I thought EDG looked really good. Some of the individuals were here. Maybe I would like to see Aspas more on the Jet. I think that he's okay on the Neon and the Raze, but in terms of like in comparison to his Jet, I don't think it's on par. I think he can just solo carry games when he's on Jet, so maybe we'll see that. And yeah, just a lot of... I mean, they've been having a really good season, and it's kind of like what Fnatic said, right? They wanted to lose early just so they got that out of the way, so that this didn't happen. And it felt like, yeah, this is kind of what he didn't want to happen to Fnatic that actually happened to Loud. If you like this kind of content, let me know in the comments. I'll be doing some more videos. I'm enjoying doing this, so I'm going to be doing them anyway. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you like this, and I will see you on the next video.